helped almost 1,000 parents handle tricky behaviors, tantrums, and things like hitting. And I talk a lot about how when you understand why your little one is hitting, it makes it so much easier to get the hitting to stop, because then you can meet that core need. You can give them alternatives or new skills, right? But sometimes I get questions like this: what if my toddler doesn't know why they're hitting, or they're too young, they're 1 and they can't talk to me and tell me why they're hitting? This is where you get to use your context clues as a parent and start to be a little observant of when the hitting or like any other tricky behavior is happening. The time it comes down to a few different categories. I talk about these in depth in my toddler tantrums guide. Emotional regulation, they're having big emotions, whether happy, excited, sad, frustrated, angry, anything like that, they don't know how to handle. They're wanting connection, they're wanting more power and autonomy, or they literally just have so much physical energy in their body that they need to get out in some way, and they haven't had enough opportunities for that. That covers, I would say, like 95% of the reasons why toddlers hit. So if you just pay attention for a little bit, right? Watch your toddler. Notice the times of day that they're doing this. Like this week, I was working with a client whose toddler was hitting and kicking and things like that. And we figured out through just context clues that he was wanting that attention. He was hitting to get her focused attention. And so now we can use that to give him some new skills, new communications, new ability to handle playing on his own, because that's kind of the skill he needs to learn, right? Another client whose toddler was hitting his sibling a ton all the time. After talking, we realized that a lot of times it was like in the afternoon at the end of the day. That was more of an emotional regulation thing. He was tired. He was hungry. He wanted some alone time. He didn't know how to handle the frustration of having a baby brother come over and like knock his toys out of the place. And so that mom was like, cool, I'll focus on teaching some emotional regulation skills to my toddler, because that's what's going to help him. This is the benefit of like, you don't have to know exactly, but you can start to use some context clues once you understand toddler development to know where you need to give a little bit of skill building or a little bit of help to get to that core need, because that's actually going to stop the hitting long term. Yes, you need to set boundaries. Yes, you need to be really calm in your reactions when it happens, but giving them those actual skills or outlets or other behaviors or whatever they're needing is where the magic happens. It's like, it's never a bad thing to teach more emotional regulation skills. It's never a bad thing to give your little kids more outlets to like physically get their energy out. Something on that coming soon, by the way. Like, those skills are just going to build and build and build and be helpful no matter what. But if you can start to kind of pay attention and use the context clues to figure out what's going on with your little one in particular, that can be super helpful.